Hello? There. Do you have a second just to go to the YouTube thing and just see if you can chat or just give me a quick little test? I just sent you an email with the link.
Hang on. So I click on the thing and it'll take me there.
That's what I'm hoping.
There you are in front of,
No,
looks like.
Now, why don't I see you? Let's see. Why don't I know that you just got here? That's interesting.
I'm getting two different audio feeds, one from Zoom and one from
the phone.
The phone.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to hang up the phone now because there's a delay.
Okay.
So I'm talking to you now. Do you see? Well, first of all, can you talk to me? Joan?
Hi.
So do you, if you hover your mouse at the very bottom of the screen, you'll see your microphone. It's probably muted. And if you select it, it'll unmute.
So hang on, I'm going to turn your audio off for a minute because I'm confusing.
So hover your mouse at the very bottom of the screen and the icons come up. And at the very left, you'll see a microphone. It's probably muted.
No, it says it's live.
Okay.
And I hear you.
But I don't hear you. Oh, wait a minute. Say something again.
Hello?
No, I'm not hearing you. Huh. Why am I not hearing you? That's a problem. Let's try something else while I'm figuring that out. Do you see it also at the bottom, chat? In the middle of the bottom?
Hang on. I don't see anything that says, you mean it says chat?
Yeah.
And on the screen?
Okay, we got a real big, you're not, okay, let's go back again. Tell me at the very bottom, there's nothing at the bottom of the screen when you're not hovering with your mouse, right?
Correct.
Okay, and then when you hover with your mouse, what's in the bottom far left, your left?
I mean, it's just the thing that stops, that makes it run or not run.
Wait a minute, no. What do you mean by that? When you hover at the very bottom of the screen, what in the very left-hand bottom corner, what do you see?
I see the two parallel lines that tell you you're live.
Okay, so we're not at the right thing at all. Okay. Where is your mouse at the very bottom of the screen?
Yes.
And you put it there and you don't see a little microphone in the left and a little video camera? Oh, that's what I was asking you.
But I told you it says that it's live.
Yeah, I know, but I just wanted you didn't.
It mutes it.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I just wanted to make sure you didn't tell me that you saw that. Okay, and then the next thing is a video camera, right?
Hang on. There's no video camera.
Okay, what's next?
After the microphone, there's a little red dot that says live.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay. Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
And then there's a long blank area, and then on the right side it says autoplay is on. CC, there's that widget thing, mini player, theater mode, and full screen.
There's something wrong. And I don't know. Oh, I think I just figured it out. I'm so glad we're doing this. Hang in for another second. Do you have the time to do this?
Yep.
Okay, I really totally get it now. But I still don't get there. Okay, now talk again.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, yes, I can now hear you through there. Okay, I'm gonna hang up the phone now. So you can get the audio there again, okay? Okay, so, yeah. And so Joan, can you say something now? Are you saying something, Joan?
Hello?
Phew, boy, I just don't know why this is not working. I can't hear you.
That's funny because I hear myself when I talk coming back from the screen. So it sounds like you're getting my audio.
Oh, well, there, now I hear that now, but when I asked you to talk, you didn't talk.
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Well, there's a huge delay.
well,
A
okay,
huge time delay.
yeah. Well, okay, well, maybe I thought I waited long enough. I'm still not quite grasping this. Okay, I'm gonna hang up the phone. I was gonna try once again and say,
Hey, you can hear that?
yeah. Okay, I guess I have a lot of getting used to, so I'm just gonna ask you once again, and I will wait nice and patiently. Will you just say something? I'm asking you to say something and I'm not hearing you say anything. Do you hear me? I'm not hearing anything you're saying if you're talking. I'm going to call you up on the phone again.
So I'm saying stuff, but you're not hearing me.
No.
And again, the time delay is huge. It just seems weird. So you just said on Zoom, I'm going to call you up again. That's how long a time delay there is.
I'm just totally stumped.
Now I'm hearing myself. Oh, but that's because you're on the phone.
Okay, I'm just gonna try one more time. Would you just babble for a little bit? I'm gonna hang up the phone.
Babble, babble,
Just
babble,
keep going until I say on YouTube, stop now. Okay, thank you, bye. Can't hear a word you're saying. Absolutely nothing. This is really, I just don't know what I'm going to do. Okay, you can stop now. Thank you. Maybe I'll call you back. I don't know. I am completely flummoxed. Oh. Oh. Sorry about that, Ryan. How long were you waiting?
5 minutes. It's all good.
Clearly just did not have that on my checklist, look at waiting room. I got to learn that one.
Well, it's first run.
Yeah, I hope nobody shows up. So, and the delay is making me crazy here too. I'm not quite sure how to deal with this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hold on.
Look at waiting room. I got to learn that one.
I muted the YouTube because there's a delay from the YouTube. I don't know if that's happening for you.
There. Okay, I muted YouTube now too. Now, but okay, so I'm not even sure this is, are you hearing me now, Ryan?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
good now.
I'm not sure if this is the right even configuration to Zoom and YouTube. So we're figuring this out. It's like, so if someone joins us on Zoom now, it's great. We know what to do. But if someone joins us on YouTube, like right now, we're going to be in two time spaces.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, it's 10 seconds.
Well, also the chat right now on the YouTube live stream is disabled. So if somebody was to chat, we'd have to turn that on.
Okay, so let's go back to that now. So where do I do that?
Be somewhere in the settings on the live is to enable
settings.
chat.
Yeah, I got settings. Settings to say playback speed, subtitles quality. Okay, so that's not it. Subtitle autoplay is off. Mini player theater mode. I'm not seeing it at all. Just not seeing it. So I will Google that.
It might be in the initial setup. When you do the initials, the stream setup, it might be somewhere in that.
I
would
didn't.
guess.
It seemed like it just said use YouTube, but anyway, would you keep your eye on the waiting room for a second, in the off chance that somebody comes? I'm going to see if I can figure out how to enable chat on YouTube.
Sounds good.
But I also think, I just don't know. Can we go directly to YouTube?
Yeah, we could. Well,
What's
I
the
don't-
advantage? What's the advantage of going through Zoom? Because it gives them the option of being actually with us present on Zoom.
well, I'm not sure if we could both live stream from different locations on the same YouTube, actually, even for
Right.
you and I, let alone others.
Right.
So
Although,
I think that,
well, I could just live stream it and you could still be in the icon next to me, probably, right? I mean,
I'm not sure. I don't know if you can co-host a live stream on YouTube.
but I mean, I
Um,
could just say you're the co-host. I mean, what does that really mean?
Well, it would just be your video. Like it would just be you. And the only way I'd be able to participate would be in
Oh.
comments.
Oh, there's no, I'm just getting totally screwed up. I just was conflating YouTube. There's no gallery in YouTube, duh.
Basically,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think Facebook might have an option to add people in, or Instagram. One of them has an option to add other video calls into a live stream. But
What about not doing YouTube at all? What about just doing Zoom? And until we get more, what's the limit that you can have in a Zoom? And when we get more than that, we worry about it. I don't know. I'm just making up
Well,
things here.
yeah, I mean, Zoom would be more private because it would just be whoever's at the actual meeting, right? There wouldn't be the live stream aspect to it. It would only be in for kind of more exclusive, which is fine with me as well. But
It's the time delay that's got me. I don't see how we can converse with someone in Zoom and someone in YouTube. I just don't see how we can manage that.
yeah, I would imagine most of the conversation would happen on Zoom, and then we could kind of just keep an eye on the chat. In my experience with the chats too, there often is a little delay, but like it's still kind of on subject. Like you'll say, "Oh, Kathy is bringing up that her dog just died," and then we can kind of go into that a little bit, because it wouldn't be as such a constant back and forth anyway. With the chat side.
Can people audio talk to us through YouTube?
I don't think so. That would be nice.
I
It would
see.
also be nice if we had a way to maybe add the Zoom link onto the YouTube stream, and then people that are joining on the YouTube, if they wanted to join the call, they could actually just click. I don't know if you could share the link in the comments or something. Maybe?
I was gonna say, yeah, wouldn't there? Where's that? I'm having trouble seeing chat at all here on.
Yeah, well, that's part one, is that
Yeah.
it's disabled at the moment. So
Okay,
we got to
so
figure that out.
I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna just Google this for a minute. Okay, gotta go create. Jesus, criminally. There's 7 steps here. Stream, the previous stream. The top right, click edit under live chat from the top right. What do you mean from the top right, click edit? From the top right of what? Man, this is just okay. I'll go back, try again. Gotta get into YouTube's.
I'll be right back.
Well, it says I got to go into YouTube Studio to do this.
Oh, so you might have to restart the stream then.
Yeah. Well, let's see. what if? Okay, so to review the bidding, you think that I should be actually now looking at Zoom and that is our primary thing. And YouTube is just for people who want to be completely anonymous. It would be nice if we could get them to chat. It looks like I got to do that at the beginning. Okay, I sort of get all that. I think there might be a way to do it, not do it now. So I had.
The other idea would be is what if instead we streamed onto the Facebook page that you created, the Death Q&A page, and then
Yeah,
followers of that would be able to follow it on Facebook.
that's the most logical thing to do for sure. I'm just having this anti-Facebook
Okay.
feeling, but you know,
Anti-meta.
I might have to overcome it. Yeah. So if
I think at least the commenting and stuff would be a little easier on the Facebook. Plus, those who are following might
it
have an
integrates
easier
it with
time.
it makes so much more sense. It really does. It's what we should be doing. So, yeah, let's just out of curiosity to see if anyone is actually. It tells you if there's anybody watching on YouTube.
Let's see. 2 people, which I'm
It's
one
you
of
and
them.
me. Yeah, so, no, and I am. So there's nobody. So it's good for you. Thank goodness for that. And
Yeah, I hadn't shared it yet. I actually, a week ago when I talked about the Death Q&A, I had shared it that it was starting on the 8th of next Wednesday.
maybe you were right.
Yeah, this is another test run, I guess.
Well,
Get all the kinks worked out.
I got the wind knocked out of my sails, right? So you know vaguely I'm trying to do this Chinese meditation, and what I realize is that the translator is beautiful, but it means that they've got to read. I gotta go out of the Zoom's crazy. They gotta read text, and reading is cognitive. It takes you out of your meditation, right? So I've made this really stripped down version where at the beginning when I'm introducing myself and getting going, fine, they can read the text there and they can get a few phrases they'll be familiar with. But as I get into it, I got to speak Mandarin, and
interesting.
So I've got it down now. Just a few key phrases that I want to say. Like for instance, the classic would be "Jushu truly ta, Bing Kwa Dao Hishi Chao."
Oh, cool.
That means just notice it and go back to the breathing. So my friend over there recorded 3 phrases that I specified, and then I'm going to try to add more every time. And then
Wow.
and I listened to her, and then I recorded my own and sent it back to her. And I'm thinking, oh man, this is so great. And she got back to me and she said, that was really bad. I couldn't understand a word you were saying. Completely, and she wasn't like, oh, Mr. Great American Professor, she was like, that was terrible. So, okay, well,
That sounded good to me.
Yeah, exactly. What did you know? It convinced you. So I'm going to practice with her tonight. I'm just going to get those down. And
Oh, that's cool.
I really think that's the way it's got to be done. And
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. The 3 free phrases that I picked were, first of all, just breathing in, breathing out. That's the easy one. But I got to say it in my Tom more deep meditating voice too. So like when I'm just learning a new language, I would go like hu chi. That's breathing out is chi hu chi. But no, I got to get it more like
Uchi.
But I got to get it more like she. My deeper, more resonant voice. Hu chi. And then
Interesting.
Truly ta. Jushu truly ta.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
From my perspective, it sounds great. It's like Sanskrit or something.
And the last one I said is put your attention on the sound. I'm going to give them a sound too.
Nice.
Batrulishi. This one I don't have to it. Yeah. Batrulishi. Fangrat Shulishan. There you go. So I will work on those. but I think that's the way it's got to be. And I think I'm just really looking forward to it. They have a group called Metaverse. They're totally into the metaverse, and I've been like chatting with them now for a week. They know me now. I'm like this retired professor, and I'm going to be doing a meditation. But meanwhile, they're fascinated with Meta, and they can access some of these things through their VPN, and they can read sort of, but they're really curious. So it's quite an extraordinary thing.
Interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds awesome.
Yeah. And they have, do you play games? Do you do Beat Saber? I mean, it's like there's this wall that's semi-permeable between us, and I posed the question on Discord the other day. I said, if there was an election and there's just going to be an absolute ruler of the entire planet, and you've got two choices, it's going to be Apple Computer or the Chinese Communist Party, which would you pick? And this is not an entirely hypothetical question either, in my opinion.
Wow.
But what would you pick?
First thought would be Apple, without really researching anything.
Well, nothing to research, but I posted that on Discord, and everybody said that. Obviously, equating Apple's design brilliance with the ability to govern, which who knows. But what that says to me is we have just been, really brainwashed into fearing the Communist Party of China. Unlike Apple Computer, they actually have governed. They've brought hundreds of millions of people out of poverty, and they actually have experience holding a whole country together. But nobody chooses them.
Well, just the word communist is like such a loaded thing.
Yeah, all my freedoms will be stripped away. I'll just become a robot.
Yeah,
we're just brainwashed into that. When in fact they have every credential to win that vote over Apple. Apple doesn't have a single thing in their favor.
Interesting.
When it comes to governing the world, but everybody would pick them because they make pretty things.
Well, and we could potentially keep our freedom as far as we know.
But both of them are autocracies. Neither of them have our interests in mind. The check on the Communist Party of China is their feeling that if we don't let the people be a certain level of happy, they'll come after us with pitchforks. Whereas Apple has to think, what will the government let me get away with? They will do absolutely anything. They don't care. They will kill people. They will let people starve. They'll let people suffer in any way until government regulation says you can't do that anymore. That's how they govern. That's how all corporations govern. They would work people to death in sweatshops in China if there wasn't a pushback against that. Right. So everything that we fear about the Chinese Communist Party, Apple does that every day of the week and twice on Sunday, and doesn't stop until someone makes them a government.
Interesting. Good point.
And talking about privacy, they're the most closed corporation in the world. If you don't do everything Apple's way, nothing can connect with it. It all has to be them, and it's all proprietary. They're the most private enemy of openness on the planet by far, much more than the Communist Party of China. So you know what my vote is?
Death. Give me freedom or give me death.
So there's no one in the waiting room. So if someone's in the waiting room, it says so up in the upper right, right?
Yeah. I click the participants box, and then it'll show the white little box with who's in here and who might be waiting.
Right. But is there something that would like really get our attention if there's somebody waiting?
Yeah, there's usually like a little bubble thing that'll pop up at the top. It says, so and so is in the waiting room, but it's only lasts a few seconds, and then it doesn't come back.
And then over on YouTube here, it's still just, nobody has joined there, and it's way behind and really crazy. Okay, well, maybe we don't need to, do this for even a full hour. We'll stay here some longer. I don't think anyone's probably going to drop in at this point. So let's think about maybe ways that we can publicize it more too. Like you say, you haven't even done anything, but also let's just say, should we make the move to Facebook? Is that what we think?
Well, as far as like what I did share was after the last death Q&A we did, I just felt pulled to share, so I did, and there was a good bit of interest in it, and so I shared the Facebook group, and so anyone that I know that's aware of it is following the Facebook page.
It's the way to go. It really is.
Yeah. And
Um,
so then just streaming on that page would just make sense if they're already following it. They would get notifications that were live and everything.
yeah. You can post to that page too, right?
Oh
I
yeah.
made it
Oh,
publicly.
actually, no. I think I might need to have like moderation or admin abilities or something to be able to do more in that page.
Okay, I'll try to figure out how to do that. Just the other obnoxious thing is that you really see why there are Facebook pages. When I look at it as the admin, I can't even see the posts. All I can see is all the things Facebook is trying to
Oh
sell
yeah,
me.
I know it's annoying.
It's
Same.
unbelievable.
Just a
And-
bunch of like.
Yeah, exactly. But I'll push my way through and try to get you to be an admin too. I think that's what we should do.
Sweet.
And then next week we'll post. Well, and but you think we should continue with both a Facebook link and a Zoom link, not just
Uh,
Zoom?
Yeah, I think both. Maybe just with a simple option of like to be a viewer or to participate would be
Yeah.
the Zoom,
Yeah,
and then having that choice, I think people would really enjoy.
yeah. Again, I think this is going to be one of these things that's going to start like, what are we even doing? But I think when the word gets around, it's going to get around. And
Yeah, there was
I
a
mean,
good bit of interest on the one post I shared.
yeah,
And a lot
I
of
had
good
a story
stories.
last night to it, saying goodbye. I was going to tell you that it's just mind blowing. There's two parts to the story. The first part is emotional, and the second is just kind of political. And it's that there's a guy who he's come to say goodbye a bunch of times. His avatar name is 10th Doctor, which I really kind of dig. I don't even know what that means. And he never raises his hand. And I call on him every once in a while. Usually he says, no, I'm just here to listen. But yeah, 2 or 3 times he's talked, so I know who he is. He's a doctor. And he had a small child who died 17 years ago.
Mm,
And that changed his life. He became a doctor because of that, and is now a CEO of a children's hospital.
Wow.
And he has in his children's hospital a children's hospice. And he's trying to spread children's hospice to other hospitals in his area.
Wow.
He's an amazing guy. So he told, then that's the background. So he told 2 stories last night. The first one he said was that a young man who had lost a younger brother was there. He'd been there before. He's still really messed up about it. And this guy says to him, he says, for years I've been saying to people, you just go a day at a time. It gets a little bit better. Just, next day we'll get through that and then a little bit better. You know something? I'm not saying that anymore. Here's why. It just hit me after 17 years. I was looking at something last week and I saw the high school graduating class of this year. And I realized my son would have been in that class and I almost passed out. It just knocked me over. It was like it happened yesterday. I was overwhelmed by it. I thought that could never come up and hit me that way again. It just blindsided me. So what I'm saying to you is that it can get a little bit better every single day, but it is always in there, always ready to be something that is happening right now.
Powerful.
17 years.
Wow.
The other part of the story was that, and as you've heard, my single biggest peeve, the thing you can easily get me the maddest about in life, is to call VR a game. And he really expounded on that because it's his biggest issue in life. When he goes to other hospitals, his biggest mission right now is to spread children's hospice. And when he goes to other hospitals, he goes right to the CEO. He's another CEO. And they look at him and say, I'm not going to do VR. That's a game. Our children don't need more games. And he's incensed, of course. But as we know, no rational argumentation can ever change somebody's mind about anything. The only thing that works is stories. And he gets them from saying goodbye.
Oh, wow.
It's the power to be able to stand there and say, well, just 2 nights ago, I was at an event in VR and someone was there who had just lost their child and a whole group discussion about, and he describes it that way. And
wow.
Really,
Beautiful.
And that changes people's mind. And the reason he keeps coming to saying goodbye is to keep getting fresh stories.
Brilliant. That's
Do you
amazing.
fucking believe that?
Well, I guess in a way I'm not surprised, right? Like you follow the passion and it has many reasons,
This is how change happens. This is how bottom up change happens.
Yeah. Yeah. Amazing. It's really exciting, right? Like you don't even know to what exponential level things ripple out. We're just doing our little part. It's just
Exactly.
it's amazing.
Exactly. Well, we are now though in an explicit scaling mode.
Mm,
You and I moving Death Q&A, that's it. We're taking an intentional step there. Everything about the whole trip thing, that's a big intentional scaling thing. And we don't really have a clue what that means. Like Alan started to say, does it mean more one to many? Does it mean, Ryan goes from, leading 30 people to leading 3,000 people in 100 instances? Is that what that's going to mean? I don't know. Maybe it will sometime. It won't mean only that.
be wild.
Does it mean it will need 300 more people like Ryan? I mean, I think different platforms, if you start to really get how the picture is going to go, I mean, different platforms, I think, the thing that's going to get us, you and me in particular, is that, there's a level of meditation superstar that we're not. You might be at some point in your life. I'm never going to be, whether it's Joan Halifax or Frank Ostaseski or even Thich Nhat Hanh, I mean, they're like the A-listers, right? And there's always problems working with an A-lister, but there's, benefits to it too. And if a place like Horizon Venues wants to do meditation, they're going to get a superstar. That's what they're going to do. That's what venues really means, But if you're going to build a community, that's the real question. Do you need a name to attract a community, to build a meditation community at Roblox or at Minecraft or at all these locations where she's negotiated exclusive deals, and I think Jeremy sees it's going to be a complex strategy, but the question is, the next level to me of meditators, I'd call them B-list meditators. They're not Joe Rogan podcasters, but they got a good podcast, right? Like my friend Thad. I'm not a B-list podcaster, not even close.
Yeah, I'm probably like D.
Yeah, you and me are C and D. But we are. I think we're actually the perfect session leaders for our time. Because we take people where they are. We don't come with any preconception of how it's got to be. We're not going to lay some lineage that represents our credibility, on people, whether they want it or not. The China people have said to me explicitly, we don't like Buddhist monks. When I go to temple with my mother and they try to teach me to meditate, I don't like the way they do it. Because to Asian people, Buddhist monks are grumpy old men that just complain about you and are negative all the time.
Interesting.
So you and me is exactly who the Chinese people are going to want. In fact, a lot of people who are new to meditation, you and I are exactly what they want. But there could be a point in the growth, in the scaling up, where you and I will be, hey, thanks for helping us get going, Tom and Ryan, but now we got to go with the more prestige people. I mean, that could actually happen.
I'd be okay with that, as long as it gets.
Me too. I mean, I'm old.
Gets it done.
I'm just saying, there's going to be a lot of things. I really hope that more and more people are open to what you and I do, because they take people where they are and lead them through some mental training. Is how I look at it.
Well, I feel the same with the Death Q&A, being able to hold space for all opinions and perspectives. I think it's an art that the world really could use more of.
Yeah. Well, the guy at the thing last night, he's a pro. He is a professional, health grievance care guy, but he couldn't run a meeting like that in a million years, And he started to just wax on about how awesome I am, and I cut him off. But yeah. And I was starting to say this to you at the beginning of Death Q&A yesterday. There's a thought emerging in me right now about, I think we realize that what's happening with social meditation is different than when you and I first got into meditation and saw it as an individual private practice that we would just do. And we still do. But now there's another layer being added that we're just starting to get our minds around. And the role of the session leader the role of you as a session leader is different than Thich Nhat Hanh. People expect Thich Nhat Hanh to be at a different level than the rest of us. They don't expect that of you.
Interesting.
They expect you to be a regular old person, but you've done some shit that I haven't done, so you can inspire me,
Yeah, that's awesome. That's how I would prefer it. I don't want to be way up on the pedestal.
Well, and I hope that that's going to be the case. And when I do my first meditation in Horizon Thursday night, tomorrow night, I'm going to lead from the side. I'm not going to. They have it all set up so there's a high thing in the center, and I'm going to
Oh,
purposely.
interesting.
And I'm going to say I can be a sage on the stage. I'm actually really good at that.
Sage
and I
on the
like
stage. That's good.
But I'm going to be the guide on the side instead here. And
Guide on the side, sage on
yeah.
the stage. I love it.
There you go. And that comes up in ed tech too. The idea that the teacher is always, just the sage and giving
Mm,
forth, but the
mm.
real way that you teach is by being a guide on the side and helping empower people to
I love
manage
that.
their own learning. So that's the
Yeah.
kind of flippant education that I believe in too. But
Ah,
yeah.
very cool.
So anyway, like I say, there's no question in both of our minds that people need to have the kind of ability to just say what's on their mind that you and I offer people. Whether streaming will work, we don't know, but we certainly know the need is out there. And so the only other thing I just want to just wrap up for now is that I just want to shamelessly say to people, if you have a friend who's having trouble being able to talk about this or get his mind around a recent death in his family or anxieties that he has, tell him about our show.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense and
Yeah.
beautiful.
Because we haven't, a million people might want what we can do, but unless you have a VR headset, you can't do it. But
Right.
now it's that changes everything now.
For sure. Absolutely. Maybe the Facebook would just be a good place to kind of get a head start on things, and then as things grow, we could then reconsider other platforms or other ways that might reach more or be more, I don't know, efficient or something. But maybe Facebook is just a good runway to get off the ground.
But maybe we should really be emphasizing the Zoom. I mean, maybe the publicity should say something like, join us in a Zoom meeting. Don't just say live stream. We'll just call it Zoom, Zoom, Zoom. Join us in Zoom. You'll be there with Ryan and I. You could just sit there and listen. You can talk. You can use text. You can do whatever you want. But if that's too much for you, it's also good. If you don't really want to be in that Zoom room, okay, you could also check out Facebook. I mean, I wouldn't quite say it that way, but
that feels good.
Yeah,
because that's where, I mean, that's the real gift of the VR, right? It's when a bunch of people are there, and it gives more of this presence of,
we're in something together. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea to put more focus on the Zoom. And I think I have a decent amount of individuals that would like to join in.
Yeah, we'll
as
get
long
there.
as the time fits.
So, okay, let's talk about that a little bit. What do you think about this time slot? Is this perfect for you? Would you make any changes in it? Now's the time to think about that.
It's good for me. And I think it's, time zone wise, it covers a lot of time zones, specific to Europe. It's a little late in Hong Kong.
My one little old man thing that I haven't quite given up. If I have a 10 o'clock start, which a lot of my days are, I can sleep just as much as I want, and I can have a nice morning, and I can get my meditation in. But there's actually a longer morning I like when I actually do a longer meditation. I do a workout, and I can only get all that in if I do an 11 o'clock start. But man, 11 o'clock start, by the time you're through, it's already noon, so what the heck? And so I think I want to keep going with 10. I want to keep, I'm just going to, I want to have that discipline of, another thing, someone actually last night was talking about, first time it also has this come up at saying goodbye, a guy was talking about how he'd sold his business. And his identity was totally wrapped up in, I'm the guy doing that business, and now it's like, I don't know who I am. I can relate to that so much. And I'm not sure I've ever seen that Booch there. Bring him on the camera.
Zen. Yeah, Zen, come here. Oh, come here. Come. Oh,
we're just about to get a dog, me and Joan. So.
Oh, he's walking away, being camera shy.
Well, anyway, all's good. In my, obviously I found ways to stay relevant and find meaning in my life in retirement. But it's just my big insight is that you'd think when you finally hit this time when you can just be free and do everything, the way to actually be happy is to not be free, is to make commitments
Mm,
and hit
mm.
into your free time, because it's commitments. If I didn't have this commitment, I would have slept in bed this morning, but the commitment is what gets me out, gets me talking to people, gives me, gives my life full. And if I didn't have a 10 o'clock in the morning commitment, I'd stay up too late at night. I'd stay up till 2 or 3 in the morning,
Right.
just smoking dope and drinking more wine and not making good decisions. But if I have a 10 o'clock start, then I got to go to bed about midnight and take care of myself, and that's good. So
Nice.
I
Yeah.
hope, is anybody here in the Zoom room? You heard Tom's personal share there. You can just do
Well,
whatever you want to.
oh, actually, there is somebody on the YouTube right now.
Oh, how about that?
And just so you know that the other YouTube we did a week or two ago, that replay is still up. I don't know if you want to leave it on or delete it, but I don't
Probably,
really care.
yeah. Is it in my channel, you mean?
Yeah, I saw it
Okay.
in the video channel.
Yeah. So if there is someone there listening to us on YouTube right now, this was our first try at a show that Ryan and I have been doing in VR for a couple years now, and we're seeing if we can move it online. The idea of the YouTube streaming layer on top of our Zoom room might not work so well. The time delay is may be annoying for any kind of back and forth interchange. So if you are there, and what we're going to do next week is really publicize the Zoom link. We invite you to join us in a Zoom room and feel we're in like some online place together. And we'll probably be closing this up pretty soon. This was an experiment to see how to do it. And what we will do for the streaming side next week at the same time is stream it out of Facebook. We have a Facebook page called Death Q&A. It kind of integrates things better. So thanks for being here if you are still there. And we haven't even figured out how to enable chat in YouTube. So if you did come with a question, I don't know how you'd be able to ask it. Let me just be quite sincere here and say it's meant an awful lot to Ryan and I to be able to meet people and give them an okay to say what's in their heart, what's on their mind about maybe people who have died, about their own feelings inside, about their own death. We take it really seriously, but we're not always totally serious about it. We're just going to be people about it and just talk. And if you right there, if there's one person in YouTube right now listening to this and you came because you wanted to have this talk and we are a little technologically flummoxed now, I'm just going to give you my email, which is Tom, T-O-M, at Evolver, EVOLVR.org. And we're a nonprofit group that does meditation and also, likes to have discussions where we talk about meaningful things that don't always get talked about. And if you came with something on your mind, please email me at Tom at Evolver, EVOLVR.org. I'll respond to it and we'll get better at this. We'll get so we can actually have a real talk. So anyway, any thought, and usually toward the end of the session, I say, so Ryan, any thoughts about how this has gone and any remarks you'd like to make?
Well, if by any chance the individual watching knows me, then just message me and I'll be happy to give you more info on what's to come as well. I don't know if you happen to be a Facebook friend or not. Yeah.
Well, you think that's good for now? I think we should wrap it up for now.
Yeah, or at least maybe the YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, I'll close down YouTube.
Bye. Whoever's there.
Yeah, there is someone there. Again, sorry, we'll get better at this, but thanks for coming. Okay, bye YouTube. So, well, there you go. Anything else on your mind? Any further thoughts on the trip stuff you feel like talking about?
Oh, not really. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a great opportunity, and we'll just go with what comes. And I mean, I am curious, like I asked Jeremy, to what degree will the corporate side kind of sneak in with moderating what we're allowed to talk about?
Yeah.
Like, is the death Q&A going to be too edgy? These type of things. But I guess we'll just work with it as it comes.
Well, and also I think Jeremy gave you the only possible answer, which is I hope so, but I don't know for sure. It's certainly Jeremy's intention, but he doesn't know. And what I think is there's probably no one answer. It might be that on this platform, we've got to really be pure corporate, blah, blah, blah. But over here, we have a lot more freedom. And I think
that would
it'll
make sense.
probably, I don't think there'll be absolutes. I hope not anyway. But anyway, yeah. One of my
Nice.
favorite things, I just thought that meeting was so excellent that, people were able to be really share some of the complex thoughts that they had. And I particularly enjoyed when Keoki, who it can be a judgy guy. I mean, I love Keoki. We all have our things, but he's got a frame, and if it doesn't fit quite in that frame, he can be a little judgy about it. So he's like, well, grumble. I'm not so sure about the psychedelic stuff, And then a couple of minutes later, Ryan is like, well, Steve, I can explore the psychedelic stuff. And what's so cool about that is that in certain social dynamics, your statement would have been interpreted as a challenge to a strong figure. But in this thing, it isn't that way at all. It was just Keoki talking. That was Ryan talking. But it's often quite a bit more than that, And, I mean, the way that meeting plays out, the way it's supposed to go is the boss is supposed to say, I'm awesome. And everybody there is supposed to say, yep, boss, you sure are. That's how that meeting goes, right? But it didn't go that way with us. And that's something really unique. So.
Yeah, well, I just, I think credit to Jeremy and for holding that space and welcoming everything.
Yeah. And Tamisha, holy shit. I mean, she just said it. She said, I guess I feel safe here. And that just laid it out, What did I get myself into? But then I started listening, and there's another side too. That was just awesome.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah. Anyway. Well, again, and then of course, Jeremy actually referred to leaving us in not knowing as if that was a bad thing, not realizing who was over at his other shoulder there. But yeah. Well, let's just keep up the good work. We'll keep going forward. There's certainly a lot we don't know, but we'll pick it up again next week and try to. We had one. Okay, you, me, and so next week, see if we get two.
Yeah. Also, will the Zoom link will be the same? The one that I'm on right now, will this be the same meeting, or will you send me a new one for the next?
I see. If I do recurring meeting, then it's always the same link.
I believe so. Yeah.
If I can't make this one be the recurring one, I'll make the next one be the recurring one for sure. I'll see how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that way I can share it on my my stuff as soon as possible.
Yeah, no, I totally see the advantage. I mean, these obvious things I just wasn't seeing. So yeah. I want to try one minute. What if I'm not wearing headphones?
Sounds the same to me.
Sounds the same to you, and I'm not getting any echo or feedback. I like this better. I feel more like off in some weird universe when I'm in the headsets, but
check.
And we look a little bit more natural too, you could say.
Is that better?
I like it. I like it this way better, actually. Yeah. It makes me feel more like a regular old person too.
Nice. Yeah, agreed.
The reason I put it on in the first place was because of the craziness of the YouTube, but then we knocked that out. So, okay. Well, I have a 2-hour lecture I'm giving online at Harvard today on VR and fundraising.
Wow. Cool.
The funny thing about that is, I've been doing this for my friend Frank, the Frank White of the Overview Effect. He teaches at Harvard also, and I'm always his guest lecturer when it's the week to do VR, right? And when we started this about over 3 years ago. It was in 2017, and at that time he has like 40 people in the class from all over the world. It's a pretty big deal, and there was like maybe one person that even took VR seriously back then. It was not even on their radar, right? Now, as a result of Mark Zuckerberg or whatnot, I'll be giving a presentation to a bunch of people about something that's really central to the conversation, and they're kind of confused about. Just in that little period, it's just changed that way.
Wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I'm doing later, and I'll see you next time, man. Okay.
Enjoy.
Bye for now.